So, Chris, I know you're wondering why I've invited you round on Christmas Eve, and it's because you've scored a lot of goals this season. 27 goals is an incredible amount, and I thought you deserved an early Christmas present. It's only a day early, but I got you something. There you go. Do you like it? You got me a subscription to DDP Yoga. So, wait, no, have you not seen the video? Jared, you know, the guy, the fat dude, lost 300 pounds in 14 months. How incredible is that? How inspiring. Boss, are you calling me fat? I have no idea what that was, and I apologise. But welcome back to DCFC, the team for me at Derby County Safe here on Football Manager 2016. We're going to crack straight on with the results since I last saw you, which was against Newcastle. Now, it's been a bit of a mixed bag. We had a free draw in the FA Cup. We put our weekend team, so pretty good to get, I say a weekend team, but Chris Martin and Manor were on the score sheets, but I'd consider it a bit of a weakened squad, and we did quite well to get a draw with Liverpool, though we really didn't want to have to play the extra game, but we ultimately did in the end. We had a 1-0 victory in the league against West Ham, which is very, very pleasing. We lost in the replay against Liverpool, which was disappointing, but again, I'm not too fussed. We had a humiliating defeat. But Gonzalo Higuain is just a monster. He's on like 35 goals this season. It's unreal. He's the one person who scored more than Chris Martin this season. We had a 1-0 victory over QPR, which is very, very pleasing. Emmanuel Mamana got the goal of all people. And it was a delightful goal. It's a player who doesn't really score, and our goals normally come from our strikers. So to get a defender on the score sheet from a clean sheet was very, very good. We had a disappointing result, and I fucking hate the mother. Whether you're Luke and Siem de Jong's mum is just a bitch for birthing Luke and Siem de Jong. Seriously, I cannot stop them in this game. And the second goal, though, Heung-min Son, was it really pissed me off to the point where I had to change my tactic because we just pressed off. We let him come at us. We ran at our defence and just hit one from about 20 yards out, top corner. It was a 2-1 victory over Arsenal. And you're thinking, oh, I bet that was a smash and grab. It's like, no. We outplayed Arsenal. They are top of the league at the moment, and we absolutely outclassed them. Bradley Johnson scored a wonder goal. In fairness, it was an absolute thunder cunt. Nothing you can do about it. But no, Danny Ings, a bit of resiliency, good work to bounce back from going from them drawing level. Got the goal. It was a well-worked piece down the flank. One of the fullbacks whipped the ball in. Danny Ings heads it in, and it was a good goal. Here it is. It is a 4-1-3-2. It's a bit of a weird one. And it's a control-based tactic. It's a possession-based tactic. And it shouldn't really work, I don't think. I don't know how we managed to completely outclass Arsenal. I'll show you the test in just a second. But we retain possession. We have shorter passing. We play out of the defence. We work the ball into the box. We look for the overlap. We play wider. We close down more. We have a much higher defensive line and a much lower tempo. It's very much about when we have the ball, being slow in their half, waiting for the right opportunity, and allowing our fullbacks some creative freedom. But when we don't have the ball, it's very much get in your face, close you down as quick as possible, high tempo, win the ball back and then keep it. And we've been doing that fantastically. Now, to be fair, I read that article by Cleon, the retaining possession one, and I was a little bit inspired, and clearly that must have stuck in my head. But somehow this works. It very much involves Will Hughes is the man. I'm going to run you through position by position. Lewis Cook's job joins the back four, and I know he's a deep line playmaker, but there's times where, because my man is a ball-playing defender, he'll actually come up a little bit further, and Lewis Cook will drop into centre-back, and I'm completely fine with that if that's what he wants to do. It forms a back three, and allows the wing backs to push forward, box to box, just to cover both aspects of the game. Same with the centre midfielder support. Will Hughes sort of plays, he sort of links the plays, the advanced playmaker attack. His job is to sort of go into the attacking midfield. Danny Ings and Chris Martin up front, complete forward and advanced forward, and their job again is to just get on the end of it really. And I don't know how it works, but it worked. I said I'd show you the stats against Arsenal, so here you go. As you can see, we had 13 shots to their 10, 62% possession against a team which are known to keep the ball, pass the ball really, really well. And if we look at the match stats, we look at things like we had 535 passes completed, attempted, and 427 completed, compared to Arsenal's 262 completed out of 377. We kept the ball, we passed the ball fantastically well, and it was just a fantastic showing. If we look at the analysis of the game, and if we especially look at our positions in the game, it was very, very much quite a high line. The gap between the goalkeeper and the defence is massive. As you can see, without the ball, we're a little bit deeper, and with the ball, it very much, stayed there. And if we just look at passes, what that tells you quite a lot. But if we look at the sort of the key passes in the game, very much wing play, as you can see, and also pulling it back, edge of the box where there should be some midfielders there, and also the strikers. So that's what we're doing. We've also had a bit of transfer news then. Two deals have come through, as you can see, 2 new names. Valentin Kojakar, I briefly mentioned him in the last episode, but he is the backup goalkeeper. We sold Asmir Begovic, as you will know. This is the replacement, really. He's £1.3 million he cost to bring him in from Copenhagen. He's a decent little goalkeeper, 6'4", tall, Romanian, and I think he does a very good backup. He's obviously not going to play ahead of Jack Butland unless there's an injury or maybe cup games. And the other man then, Dwight Hopman, I put this guy out on Twitter. The feedback to him was fantastic. He looks incredible, doesn't he? Now, I had a plan. Was Danny Ings and Chris Martin are here to stay. In the summer, we're going to make Danny Ings permanent. We're going to see what we can do. I put in a bid in January. They want £12 million. I couldn't quite afford it, but we could afford $8 million for Dwight Hopman, including clauses can go up to $15 million. Now, Dwight Hopman is my replacement for Chris Martin. As Chris Martin's 29 now, in a few years' time, he's going to start declining. So hopefully Chris Martin will take Dwight Hopman under his wing and train him to be a fantastic player. He already has the stats to be absolutely quality if we quickly look. 19 finishing, 16 composure. He's got a bit of pace about him as well. Decent heading as well. I mean, and with, he's only 17, so he's going to get a little bit taller, and that jumping reach hopefully will come with that. But he's a very raw, potentially good player, and that's fantastic to have. And then, as I said, in the future, to quickly go back to my plan, Dwight Hopman then overshadows Chris Martin, becomes the main man alongside Danny Ings, and it is all beautiful. I love how the previous meetings between me and Ronny has been XXX, so just like looking at it, you'd think, oh, last time they met, they made a porno together. How wonderful.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god, it's also... what the hell is that? Oh my god, it's also Regen Day. They had to double the reaction. I completely forgot that Regen Day was a thing. Come on, give me the money. Where's the money? So then the teams are in then, fresh off the press. And we line up with a bench of Koja Karu, Kevin Vimmer, Gabriel Paulista, Jacob Butterfield, Andreas Weimann, Julian Green, and Chris Martin. He has been dropped. But we anyway line up with a back four and goalkeeper of Eric Durham, Willie Orban, Emmanuel Manor, Andy Robertson, and Jack Butland. A midfield weird four of Cook, Bradley Johnson, Will Hughes, and George Vaughan, and a strike partnership of Danny Ings and Dwight Hopman. 78, why not? We could be our own Jose Angel Pozo, except for we're not going to sell him to UD Almeria in 2 years' time. Hopefully. They line up, however, with a bench of Costel, Pan, Tillimon, Santiago Virginie, Jack Rodrold, Lee Catamol, Seb Larson, Nikolai Boylson, and Matt Jarvis, with a starting lineup of Cohen Castilles, Billy Jones, Dan Lovren, Stefano Denswell, Alexander Kolarov, 2 in the midfield of Jensen and Carroll, the attacking midfield 3 of Tanane, It's a lot of T and N's, and there's a lot going on there, and I don't know how to pronounce it, so answers on a postcard. Godion Delalem and Andrei Kramaric, and of course, everyone's favourite, number 9. Now, 2 quick notes then as we start this game, kicking from left to right in the weirdish, blackish, purplish, greyish kit. First things first is, I'm very surprised I'm wondering if actually our system is going to work in this game, because it is a kind of a big change to go from such a counter-attacking kind of defensive system to one that is very much in your face and dominant. It's a very, different system, and in fact we are 1-0 down to Osama Tanan. I can't say it. I sound like a fucking child. Oh my god. Sunderland do likes counter-attack. It is a bit of a culture shock, really. It's such a drastic change. And we've not really marked Osama. I like that name. Can we just call him Osama? I can pronounce Osama, but Tanane I can't really do. But the second one is Dwight Hopman. I'm not too worried that he hasn't scored yet in like the 5 or 6 games we've played him. It is going to, it also is a bit of a change to the system when, he's been playing in the Eredivisie and he's now joined a new club, come to a new country, so we've got to give him time. George Vaughan there finds Willie Orban, and he finds the palms of Cohen Castilles. Bradley Johnson's picked up a knock. We'll certainly take him off. No need to take those risks when you've got Jacob Butterfield on the bench, that's all I'm saying. I mean, granted, Butterfield's not that good, and we probably could use a new midfielder in the summer, but, don't tell Jacob that. Oh, we've been booked. We are 1-0 down at half-time. It's been a pretty shit first half, because really the only highlight was them scoring. And that's a bit of a disappointment. But we've not been particularly well in this half. Danny Ings especially hasn't played particularly well. And we really haven't shown them what we're made of here. We've not really created a clear-cut chance, but we're going to give a little bit of faith. We've already had to make substitutions, so I don't want to make another one. Don't want to waste them. And hopefully we can kick on in the second half. I mean, the stats are heavily in our favour. We just haven't really shown too much striking instinct in terms of testing their goalkeeper. Every stat is going in our favour except for the one that matters, and that is the scoreline. So it's a real tough one because we're playing well. We just haven't been able to break them down yet. However, Andy Robertson, so much time! That'll do! Lewis Cook's first ever goal for Derby. And was that a miscued shot by Andy Robertson, or was that a beautiful pass? We will have to wait and see. Let's find out then. Andy Robertson. That's a miscued. That's a shot that was going wide. Lewis Cook, the ultimate opportunist, sticks in a foot and pokes it home. And just as I was saying, it was all going wrong. We finally draw level. 10 minutes left to go in this game. We're going to go attacking. And let's hope we can win the game. A substitution as well will be made. We're going to replace Danny Ings with Chris Martin. Chris Martin, not the best in the complete forward role. Neither too much is Dwight Hotman, but we're going to have to play him there anyway because Chris Martin has to be the focal point of the attack. And that is what the advanced forward is. And hopefully he can make an impact with 5 minutes left to go. Maybe? No? Surely not? Because, I mean, Sunderland are holding on in this game. Oh, look, the Butterfield. Oh! Over the bar, and I somehow, in a game where we've had 22 shots, it's been one of the most boring live comms physically possible. But they've done very well to come back and get a draw from going 1-0 down in the first half. But how, with those stats, have we not won this game? My mind has been boggled, and we've done everything we needed to do to win the game, except show that little bit of that little bit of clinicalness. We haven't really tested the goalkeeper too much. Only 7 shots on target. But alas, it is a point. It is a good performance, so we can't complain too badly. And we move on. But with 8 games left to go, we're on 44 points. I think we're safe. And I think we can certainly push for a top half finish. And really, it's sort of just seeing out to the end of the season. So I'm going to probably see you now. Maybe even last game of the season, to be honest, because not really too much can happen at this stage. And maybe if something does develop, like we have a chance of getting into Europe via top 5 or top 6, maybe if someone wins the cup, then I certainly will let you know.